Hi, this is Jacob Wolf with ESPN Esports, and I am joined today by Zero. You're not competing this weekend.
No,
but I feel like you could kick any of the competitors' ass. Is that true?
Okay, I think I could beat a good amount of people here. I think. At least a couple of like the best players, I can make them sweat a little bit. I mean, when I played Leo at the Summit, it was game 5. He had to switch characters 3 times, so we made him sweat a little bit. So I think we still got it a little bit.
What do you think about the tournament here? There's over 3,000 people that have entered this weekend at EVO for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What do you think about why so many people are here, and how do you think it will shake out?
I think there's a lot of people here because obviously it's the first time Ultimate is at EVO. The first year of any game always gets the most entrants. Like for example, the first time Street Fighter V came out was massively successful, and then it went down, after that. But still remained very high numbers. So I think Ultimate is going to be the same trend. I don't think the second year is going to be as big as this one, but it's still going to be like over 2,500 people regardless. So I think it's going to be insane. The way it's going to shake out though is that at the end of the day, these tournaments, regardless of how many people they have, it's mostly going to be taken by someone from within the top 50. Very rarely we will see someone outside our rankings like take out a lot of people. I hope we see some upsets today because I'm going to be covering it. So I think it's going to be really interesting if there's some upsets. But regardless, I think the top 5 seeds are the most likely to win regardless.
How are you welcomed at these tournaments? You were previously the best player in all of Smash 4, winningest player in all of Smash 4. But how do you feel like people will treat you now in Ultimate?
I mean, most people treat me with respect. I mean, it's not like I'm like a random person, right? But like when I go, like people do take more shots at my skill now. They'll make fun of me. They're like, hey, I was watching your stream and you were SD. They're like, hey, I could beat you up now. Like the pros definitely take more jabs at me, obviously in joking manner. That's like really the only difference. Back then, during the old days, they will like never say that at all. Just they couldn't say anything. But nowadays they try to take their jabs if they can. Other than that, people are very respectful. They see me kind of as like the media guy now. So, I mean, all things considered, very positive.
How's this transition been like for you over the past year of moving from full-time pro or part-time pro to full-time influencer, streamer, whatever you'd like to call yourself? Mm-hmm. What has that been like?
It was a little hard in the beginning because I kind of was getting my grasp of the system because yes, I understood Twitch a little bit, I understood YouTube a little bit, but I didn't really get the whole culture yet. So then in the beginning it was kind of hard to transition from hey, I'm good at something, and because I'm good at something and I win, I can get results. But Twitch and YouTube isn't really about that. You can be good at things, but then you have to understand how the system works, how the algorithm works, how people are interested in watching things. What makes someone stick around in a stream? What is fun? What games are fun? What makes someone stick around a stream? What makes a viewer go from I like your stream to I would like to subscribe to your stream? I would like to support you monetarily. Like those questions I had to answer in the first 6 months, and it was honestly kind of difficult. It took me a lot of trial and error, a lot of hey, why isn't this stream going well? Hey, why did this stream do so well and this one didn't? Hey, why did this video do so well and this one didn't? It's a lot of questions that you have to answer, and it took me a while. I figured a lot of stuff out. I'm still figuring things out on the daily, but I feel like all things considered, it's been a really good journey, and I feel like I'm making progress. I think that's what matters.
You're really kind of alone in that realm. Like there are other people that have a Smash, YouTube, Twitch fan base, but not somebody that was actually really good at the game once upon a time. Why do you think other people, people like Nairo who also have the influencer base, haven't quite caught you in popularity?
I guess it's because I think it's because it's not their main focus. A lot of people are still focusing, if you're a pro with a channel, whatever, you're more focused on being a pro. Because pro takes more time actually. It's more effort, I think. So you have to kind of just put 60-70% of your time into it, so you don't have time for the small things and the small little details. Do matter in content creation, especially if you have to put a lot of time into it. And then the second thing is that I'm also very business-oriented kind of person, and I'm very keen to details. So for me, when I look at a video being successful, right, my head is how long is this video? What is the thumbnail? What is the title? What is the first 30 seconds of this video? What is this video different from other videos that did the same thing? What is this person doing that brings value that is actually unique compared to other values being offered? If I was a consumer, right, which video would I watch from these 3, objectively speaking, right? Would I watch my video? Would I watch my competitions? I try to ask myself and put myself in other people's shoes and try to see things objectively. The problem with being a content creator is that when you don't do as well, you take it personal because you're the product, right? If my videos don't do well, then people don't think I am good, right? It's a hard line to cross, but sometimes you have to think about it like that because otherwise you can't really improve sometimes. Yeah, okay, people didn't like what I did here, but why? Why exactly did I do wrong? Okay, people watch this video on average for 8 minutes. Why did they stop at 8 minutes? Oh, 8 minutes as for example, a dead time, or like I made a bad joke, or like I sneezed or something, Then, those are things that you can look forward to improve in the next couple videos. It's always a matter of like perfecting the machine and kind of keeping it oiled all the time.
You talked a lot about sort of the emotional up and downs of being the best player in a game, right? But something I'm interested in is sort of, do you wrestle with yourself now to let go of being that best player? You're not doing it all the time. You're not competing all the time, and so you're probably not the best anymore at Ultimate. Do you wrestle with yourself a little bit with that?
I guess sometimes I see people win tournaments, and then in my head I'm like, I could have won that. In my head I'm like, hey, I could have won that. But like at the same time, I have to understand that I made a decision, right? And I will say there's like a small percentage of like, I would like to, get back into it because of pride, right? But then a big portion of me is like, what I'm doing is better, it's paying better, it's giving me a better future, and it's more fun. So like, I made the objective correct decision because I knew what I was doing, right? I didn't quit for no reason. But at the same time, there's always going to be like a little bit of like, I would like to do everything. But I have to understand, wrestle with myself, right? The way you put it, is that you can't really do everything, right? Like you can't be a behemoth content creator and win in every tournament at the same time. People have to pick.
So you think there is a little bit of regret to that, even if it's not real, or even if it's not rational? Do you think there's still a little bit of regret that maybe you could do something differently?
Maybe along the lines of regret, it's maybe along the lines of like, I feel like I should do everything. I feel like I would like more hours in the day to do everything, but you can't. So it's more so like, it's a little bit of regret, it's a little bit more like, could I do more? It's a little bittersweet. But at the same time, I try my best to, to focus on what I'm doing because, I chose to be a content guy, so that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to empower myself with.
Yeah, we were just talking to MK Leo. We talked a little bit about you and sort of him following in your shoes. But on that note, we've seen him grow up a lot through Smash. So have you, right? You've matured, you've been in this community for a long time, back in Brawl, and now all the way up to Ultimate. What do you think you've learned about yourself the most as a person?
What I learned myself the most as a person is that I never knew I was as business oriented as I thought I was. Like for me, it was always a matter of like trying to get results, but eventually I realized I'm a very like business oriented kind of person. Like I'm always looking at the details of things. Like I'm like when I go to a tournament, right? My first question is like, how is this person making money? How are they profiting? Like, how much are they charging? Like how much are they spending with this? Like how many people, do they have volunteers? Do they have employees? Like I'm thinking in my head like all the numbers, and I'm like, this person might make this amount of money from the event. Like I'm always trying to think about things like that, right? Or I'm always looking at ideas, and I'm always like, maybe this idea could be improved this way, and maybe we could have a better product. And when I was a player, right, it was very similar line of thinking. It was like, people play this character this way. Could we make it a little bit of this way? Or what if we did this? Or like, what if we played him this way? Or what if we used not this character, we tried this one for this similar objective? Can they do it better? Like I'm always thinking how to make things better. And I think that eventually led to me discovering that I was more business oriented than I realized. And then the second thing is that over time I realized how dedicated I am with things. Like people always comment about how like I'm very like hard hitting with things like oh, if I'm going to the gym, I'm going 6 days a week. Like oh, if I'm streaming 250 hours a month. Oh, if I'm doing YouTube videos, I'm doing a video every day. It's like I'm always like I always go hard or go home completely. And I never knew I was like that until I stepped out of competing, because I just thought I was a tryhard, right? But I realized I'm like that with everything.
You talked about a little bit about burnout previously in the pro life. Do you feel like you're going to get burned out of what you're doing now? I mean, that's a lot. What you just described is a lot. Do you think that? What do you have to do to prevent that from being burned out?
I think I don't think I'm going to get burned out, because streaming is the kind of thing that is a unique experience every day, and it's fun. Like, for example, if I get tired of playing Smash every day, which I don't stream Smash every day, then let's play another game. Let's play Fire Emblem. Let's play, something else. Let's do a challenge. Let's do different things. And that brings uniqueness to the experience. Like, for example, instead of staying at home, and streaming, the usual, I probably would have played Fire Emblem this whole weekend, right? If I was home, we bring a camera crew and we stream Medieval, so like, that's how we can make the content unique and make experiences different, both for the viewers and both for myself, so things are not boring, right? Like I could have made this weekend more boring for myself, but instead I went out of my box, let's do something completely new. So that's how I keep things varied. In terms of YouTube, for example, I'm always doing different projects. Like my tier list videos are like huge projects. It's taking me weeks to do, hours of video. Then I'm gonna do another series. We do investigative videos. I dabble a little bit of drama videos lately. Like, we're kind of just exploring the landscape a little bit. So I'm always trying to like grab an audience in an area, and then let's grab an audience from another area, and another area, and another area, and then let's kind of get everyone together in one area. You know, it's like I'm always thinking about that. So I don't think it's gonna get boring. Like, I see myself doing this for a while. Like, I can easily see myself doing this for like the next 10 years, which is what I plan to do. I plan to do this for a very long time so we can, you know, like develop a nice, bright future and, you know, have more opportunities in general. But like for me, competing was like, it always felt unsustainable because I was like, I don't know if I can really keep traveling like this, playing 8 to 10 hours a day, super try hard, be a very results-oriented kind of person where like if I'm not winning, I'm not actually a worthy human being, you know? It was very taxing mentally, and like as soon as I stepped away from it, I felt like I really picked myself up from there. Like I was like, damn, like I was in that spot that was very hard to be in, and then I took myself out from there, and now I feel like I'm way up here, and that's how I knew I made the right decision.
All right, so we'll end on this. I've sat across from Zero, the professional player, for many years. I'm now sitting across from Gonzalo Barrios, the businessman. So on Thursday, Ninja announced that he's going away from Twitch and signed an exclusive deal with Mixer. Holy crap, that's big news for the streaming world. He's one of the biggest streamers on the platform, and now he's gone. What do you think of that, and what do you think the implications are for streaming in the future?
So what I think is that Mixer should look at my Twitter profile, and they should look at their business email, and they should shoot me an email. They should shoot me an email at business@zerowondering.com. And if they want to talk opportunities, hello, I'm all here, baby. But regardless, I think it's really good because, look, you know, I work for Twitch, right? Or like, I'm a partner there. You know, I work for YouTube, whatever, right? But like, the thing is that all these platforms, they have been the king of their space for way too long. And what this means is that once companies are in the top dog spot, right, and they don't really have competition, it leads to stagnation in the business. It leads to stagnation of opportunities, and at the end of the day, the only thing it hurts is the creators, the people that work there, the people that put their time and life into these systems and platforms, is the people that take the bullet. So because, you know, we have Ninja, which, bless him, very happy for him. I used to watch him back in the day in the Halo days when he had like 100 viewers. You know, I never really watched the Fortnite days. I'm not really a Fortnite guy, but you know, I understand the hustle. I respect him. Takes a big amount of, you know, confidence to do that kind of move because it's crazy. But I'm happy for him because not only is it a great opportunity for him, but it allows all of us to put pressure on Twitch. So then they have more competition because now they're gonna have to look at the system and say, what if other streamers get bought from Mixer? What if YouTube starts buying like streamers from Twitch, right? Because YouTube got Google money. You know, all these companies have huge money from Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. So they have the funds. What if Twitch starts losing their best partners? Like, what if the top 5 Twitch partners go to other platforms? That's a big hit. And I feel like that's going to create more opportunities for the landscape. And I feel like it's also going to make Twitch step it up, which I think is great.
Well, maybe we'll see you on Mixer or Caffeine or something else soon. But thank you very much for joining us. For more coverage of fighting games in EVO 2019, stay locked into ESPN.com/esports and YouTube.com/ESPN Esports.